views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, it's American Heart Month, and we'll talk all things prevention as we sit with representatives from the American Heart Association and Mount Sinai Hospital. After that, the Boogie Down Grind Cafe's new location will have its first exhibition titled Essence, dedicated to Black History Month and the beauty of the Bronx. Then we'll sit down with relationship expert Jimmy Allen, who will suggest some do's and don'ts for Valentine's Day, along with some couples relationship advice. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features soulful singer Samira Gibson, who will perform her single, Power of Love, at the end of the show. So, sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way, because now we are officially open. To Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. That's right. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, LinkedIn, Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. All right, so February is Black History Month, and it's also American Heart Month. So in an effort to raise awareness, we are opening today's show with information to help people live healthy lives. According to the CDC, heart disease is the leading cause of death between men and women in the United States. And, well, the good news is that it can be prevented by making healthy choices. And joining us to give us some preventative tips, we welcome Mount Sinai cardiologist Amy Kontorovich. I think I got that right. And activist and American Heart Association volunteer Clarissa Alayeto. Did I get that right, Doctor?
Very close.
Very close? All right, I'm going to get it right by the time this segment is over. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you
And thank you for the work that you're doing. And I really want to open up with just sharing a little background on the American Heart Association, because I don't really think that people are aware that it's like a volunteer-based agency. So a lot of people are really just dedicating their time to offer their services for free.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a volunteer with the American Heart Association, and after starting my journey, I learned that that's the best way to go out into the community and partner up with an organization that's working to keep communities healthy, and so definitely getting involved, and it's been a journey with them.
And I know that you're an activist, and so what inspired you to become part of the American Heart Association?
So my own journey, just being able to, I was diagnosed with diabetes, being able to reverse that, eat healthy, exercise, and then partnering up with an organization. I wanted to get my message out to the community. Growing up in the South Bronx, I wanted to get my message out. So connecting with the American Heart Association gave me that platform to be able to do more outreach in the community.
That's wonderful. It's wonderful to pass it forward. And so Dr. Let's see, I'm going to get it right, Kontorovich.
Yep.
Kontorovich?
Kontorovich.
Dr. Kontorovich. I'm so sorry. Does your name get messed up a lot?
It does.
It does. It does. It's like because it's got an extra syllable in there, but I don't mean to offend, Doctor. So thank you so much for the work that you do, and also just for your contribution to the American Heart Association, because you're a doctor at Mount Sinai, right? And so you're a cardiologist, so it's your field. So what could you share with people, especially her referencing diabetes? How is diabetes associated with heart? disease?
So as you said, heart disease is a really big deal in this country, and more than 120 million Americans actually have heart disease and may not know it. Diabetes is what we consider a risk factor for heart disease. It means it's something that makes it more likely that you'll develop conditions like heart attack or stroke. So diabetes is a really important focus, if you have it, to talk to your doctor about controlling it with lifestyle and medications, or if you don't have it, but you're at risk for it, making sure that you don't develop it.
So what are the statistics when it comes to people of color?
So African American and Hispanic American populations are more vulnerable to developing diabetes, and then the likelihood that they'll have complications are higher. So the rates of heart attack and stroke are higher in those groups as well.
And in your opinion, do you find that people come to you when it's too late versus having had an opportunity to, I mean, obviously you're a doctor, so you're there diagnosing, but it's just a mindset. It's just, and I'm hoping that by the time this segment is over, we can maybe just shift some habits and or considerations into a way of living. And so what could people do to not allow it to get to the point where they're either having a stroke or high blood pressure, right? Because it starts there, right?
Right. So 80% of heart disease is actually preventable. So if you think about that statistic, it's very powerful. And someone like Clarissa, who took her risk factors seriously, highlights just how important that journey is and how you can make important changes and reverse the course. We even believe that starting in children between age 3 to 5 is the time to start with healthy lifestyle habits like moving, exercise, getting away from the screens, getting away from the tablets and the TVs, and controlling your diet, avoiding sugary items and high salt items.
And so, Clarissa, what have you done or what have you implemented in your life to reverse your risk?
Yeah, I definitely began exercising. The first thing I did, I tried to recognize where the sugar was coming from, and it was coming from soda and juice. So I eliminated soda, juice, and all sugar beverages from my diet and just started drinking water, and that made a huge difference.
And it's so simple, right?
Yes.
And it probably saves you more money.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, for our people out there, it's
Right.
like, not only are we being health
Right.
conscious, we're being financially conscious as well.
Absolutely.
And yes, and you were going to say, Doctor?
One of the suggestions that I sometimes give patients if they really like soda is to try drinking seltzer water with lemon or other citrus squeezed into it.
Right,
Right.
because it's got that fuzz,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of like a treat from water. It's like, oh, drink water, and then, oh, as a treat,
Right.
you have seltzer water or club soda, right?
Right.
And so with the American Heart Association and with it being American Heart Month, right? Or it's Heart Month, not just American, it's Heart Month. How do you guys go out and just spread the message? And again, I'm referencing the preventative aspect of it because I'm sure maybe you have pop-ups where you have people doing blood pressure. And for me, on a personal note, just representing a community of color, I just find it like it's just challenging for me to embrace and accept the fact that everybody within my community is always at that point where they have to be on some kind of medication, and instead of just kind of taking those steps and knowing that if you're already getting signs, all you got to do is shift a mindset. So how do we assist people with just not being resigned about their way of being, right? It's like, oh, it is what it is. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be. I mean, you have until the end, right?
Yeah.
Well, one important thing is to talk to your family members and to observe your family members because family history is another risk factor for heart disease. So if you've seen someone that's close to you who has suffered with heart disease, then it's important to recognize that puts you at risk as well. And you need to talk to your doctor about that information. Sometimes just getting to the doctor's office is the first step in making things right. But the other extremely important thing is if you're a smoker, quit, and knowing that women and African Americans have a harder time quitting and more likely to relapse. So it's just important to embrace that information and be prepared and continue trying to quit smoking if you are a smoker.
Okay, and so let's just really quickly talk about how the smoking affects the heart, right? Because one would think it only affects the lungs, right? But how does it impact the heart?
Right. Smoking is a huge risk factor for creating cholesterol plaques in the heart arteries, and that can lead to stroke, it can lead to heart failure, and it can lead to heart attacks. So smoking is the #1 reversible risk factor.
Thank you for sharing that. And so as a representative of the American Heart Association and working within the community, like what are you doing and who are you reaching out to? Like is there a specific age range that you're working with?
So my passion, because I grew up in public housing, my passion is to work with the community of NYCHA. And so we've been trying to, so I have a fitness class it's a free fitness class in the community that I facilitate with a group of women who are consistent, who are trying to make these changes, who have had diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and now are seeing just through exercise and eating correctly and just being consistent with their health have been seeing changes. Connecting with the American Heart Association to have these health fairs in the community so that they're aware, building education around, how we should be eating, what we should be eating, how much exercise we should be doing. So those are the things that we're trying to do with the American Heart Association.
No, I love that
and
you brought up NYCHA too.
Absolutely.
Because,
Absolutely.
They need a lot of light right now.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you're able to implement these programs to kind of keep them in some kind of light is really good.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yeah.
And Doctor, before we go, what are your last words or that you'd like to share with any of our viewers who are in denial about conditions?
Well, Clarissa's program sounds fantastic, and anything you can do to get moving is encouraged. Even if you can do 10-minute bursts of exercise, that adds up. But ideally, we would love for everybody to be doing 30 minutes of movement every day.
I love that. So where can people join in on your programs?
Definitely. So you can definitely join every Monday at 6:30. We're at Patterson Community Center, at Patterson Houses in the South Bronx, and we welcome everyone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here,
Thank you
Clarissa.
so much.
And I called you doctor because I didn't want to mess it up, and I'm going to try one more time. Dr. Kantarovich.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You guys, for more information regarding heart disease and prevention, please visit heart.org. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll learn about the essence of Black History Month through an art exhibit. Don't go anywhere.
The waters along Orchard Beach will be chilly, but this year's fundraising dip hosted by the Bronx Polar Bear Club, BronxNet Television, and BronxWorks is all for a good cause. They are bringing attention to the harsh conditions the borough's homeless face, especially during the winter months, and their goal to expand services provided right here. This is the BronxWorks supportive housing complex located at 148th Street off Brook Avenue in the Mott Haven section, a facility that has helped many regain their lives.
I was sleeping there in the snow, 3 feet of snow. It was terrible.
That was 5 years ago. Today, Giuseppe Elia, who talked about his descent that began in 1995 following the death of his parents and a divorce. It wasn't until 2014 that things began to turn around after BronxWorks came into his life.
I don't know how they found me. I was in the ditch. Nobody knew about it.
They hand-delivered food to him early each morning, and eventually a staff member made an invitation.
Shauna Barry, she goes, nah, you can, come on, come watch. I said, I have to think about it. It was snow day too. So one morning I said, you know what? I think it's time to move.
But when I came here, I was at the SRO. I went to the shelter system. That was like in the 80s. It was horrible.
Ron Glover, who also lives at the complex, is originally from South Carolina. He traveled to New York City to visit his mother, who lived in a nursing home, and was soon without resources, and he sought refuge in a city shelter.
I remember one time when I was in Atlantic Avenue, me and my friend, we was there together. And the most scariest thing was the guy that was next to me, I think 2 beds. He got stabbed in his sleep, and when we woke up, The police was all over here.
Things are different today. He wants to enroll in FIT and shared his favorite designer is Dapper Dan. But that's not all for him. He's also become an activist who's traveled to Albany to lobby for more supportive housing around the city like the one he lives in.
I got that love, and whenever I'm going through something and our caseworker is never here, I always got other caseworkers. Since I've been here, I've been to a lot of good caseworkers. They left, they came. Each one of them left something with me.
Born in Sicily, Giuseppe grew up in the Bronx. He survived open heart surgery soon after Bronx Works admitted him, and after recovering, he immediately wanted to give back.
I said, listen, I want to fix the backyard because it kept me busy all the time moving. It was good.
He also shares another skill others here have come to appreciate.
A couple of days ago, I made a clams, stuffed clams. I put a lot of garlic. You know, the smell. Hey, Joe, what do you got? I said, oh my God, you smell the clams.
Both share this in common, a deep appreciation for their new lives that are helping to transform others.
Thank you, Bronx Works, for changing my life. Now I'm ready to shine, and my motto for this year is be a lion and roar, and make some noise.
Compared before and now, now it's 100% better.
The event is officially on February 9th. If you'd like to find out more information, you can go to bronxworks.org. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. In honor of Black History Month, the Boogie Down Grind will be displaying artwork related to the essence. Yeah, the purpose of the art show is to bring creatives of color from all backgrounds to showcase artwork that reflects their culture and community. And joining us to tell us more about the upcoming exhibition, Essence, please welcome art curator and mixed media artist, Yoleni Gil, and social media director of the Boogie Down Grind, Angelica Castro. Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. OMG. Congratulations to the Boogie Down Grind on their expansion. What a lovely space.
Yes,
You guys have been kicking it up since the grand opening. You want to share a little bit about that before we go into the art exhibit?
Yes, so we have basically the reopen of the new cafe. Just moved to the corner down. It's dedicated to the South Bronx hip-hop theme. And, you know, we're a local business dedicated to our community and the power of social media. You know, we use it to invite our residents, the community, to really come and visit us and, you know, always buy back to us.
Yeah, no, I love it. And also the social relevance, right? Yeah. And so, Yoleni, you have an amazing eye, and I noticed that, you know, of course, you know, I visited your gallery, and I was like, all right, now, Oshun, okay, River Reflections.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's lovely to see the inspiration in your work, and also the meaning behind it, right? And your background is you're half Dominican, half Haitian, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so, but you identify with being an Afro-Latina.
I do. Of course I do, because, you know, as you know, Hispanic heritage and also our culture tends to kind of side our blackness a lot. And so for me, growing up in Dominican Republic, having to endure all racism, from my nose to my hair to the way my body would look, you know, I tend to kind of put all of my energy into my artwork and into my vision as far as what I curate, what I look for. And I just want to kind of open up a space and a voice for our people to kind of feel comfortable and just have a good energy space to kind of put up their work and showcase what they are.
So I think we're looking at one of your pieces right now.
Yes.
That's the name of that piece is?
That's actually Turning Point. So it's one of my pieces that I dedicated to Deity Oshun. And it's kind of like Ibei, which is her twins, and they represent a different side of personality. So one side is the good side, the other one's the jealous, crazy side.
Right.
So that's the representation of the artwork.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us the background on it. And so, I guess now we're looking at Elegua.
So el egua is made with actually a straw basket from Dollar Tree. And I took a wood and just put a bunch of beads on it and pretty much just made a camino, which is just a path. And I was at crossroads, so that's the name of the piece.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So you use your work to kind of as a form of therapy,
Right.
and to exercise your spirituality,
Exactly.
and just being present to your moment.
Yes.
Right. I
Yeah.
summed it all up. No, I was really excited looking at your artwork. I was so excited. And so the artists that you've invited to be part of this curation, how did you select them?
So I wanted to create something where it was mixed media in the sense of different types of techniques of art. So fine art, photography, paint on wood, things like that. So I kind of just selected them based on aesthetic as well as the actual statement of the artist. Because to me that's very important. As an artist, you have to have kind of like a clear vision of what you want and also what you're representing. And so I went from there and we chose together the pieces that were going to be up. And
So how many artists are being featured altogether?
10.
10. Wow, that's big.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Well, it's a lot more space
Space
now.
now. Yes.
All right. So, do you can you list all the artists?
Off the top of my head.
Well, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Well, all right. So, just because I'm really interested in the variety within the Afro diaspora, which is why I was asking, right?
Yes.
Because if you're Dominican Haitian, I'm assuming everybody comes from all different walks of life, but they
Right.
have they identify with their African ancestry.
Yes.
yes,
So,
that's correct.
you gave me aesthetics. Now, can you share something behind what I guess helped her or you guys come together in deciding who's going to be there
Yeah, so
or
we-
present it? I should say. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's artwork.
So we decided together, since Black History Month, we wanted to dedicate something and have something more focused. We normally do just a solo artist of the month, so we wanted to step it up. Now there's a new cafe, do more curation, and we really wanted to showcase not just Black art, but just all colors of Black art. So all
Which
the
is
browns.
where essence comes from.
Exactly.
Because
Okay.
it's ultimately essence of culture, essence of self, essence of environment. So it's all the essences that create and make up us, in a sense.
That's lovely.
Yes.
That's lovely. All right. So the exhibition is officially opening next week, right? Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say.
Well,
next
it's on
week
display
because
now.
It's on
It's on
display.
display now.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're having an opening
Yeah, the
reception.
party's
gonna
All
be
right, so
next
let's talk about
Friday.
the opening reception.
So
Yes.
opening reception will be on the 8th, and it'll be from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. And we're looking to bring as many people as you can. Bring your friends, bring your family, and just come enjoy a good time with us.
All right. So and the time is
7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
7 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right. No, I'm like, oh, it ends at 10. No, okay.
It'll probably go longer.
Yeah.
But the art is going to be on display for the entire month.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
so are you guys going to be rotating artists every month at the Boogie Down Grind?
We
Yes.
All right, so this particular exhibition was put up for the month of February. The opening reception, February 8th. It will be on display until the end of February, and then we'll see
See
what
what
the
comes
future
next.
holds.
Yes.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, we want everybody to come and to check out the new Boogie Down Grind. It's definitely an experience.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. All right. Once again, you guys, the opening reception for Essence is taking place on February 8th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Boogie Down Grind Cafe, which is located at 868 Hunts Point Avenue. And of course, that's in the Bronx. All right, we got to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll talk relationships, dating, and Valentine's Day do's and don'ts you don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to stay connected with us. That's right. Be sure to like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And, of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi at Rhina Valentin. So Valentine's Day is a few days away, and we sent out our cameras to take, to get your take on the most romantic day of the year. Let's take a look.
What would you rather have on Valentine's Day, flowers or chocolate?
I'd rather have chocolate because it's more fulfilling.
Flowers.
Chocolate. I'm all about chocolate.
Describe the perfect Valentine's Day date.
I think of the perfect Valentine's Day would probably be going out to some place that you and the person you're with both enjoy.
I don't know, really. Just as long as we're together, it doesn't really matter.
It feels like a nice weather like this. Just go on a date. After that, walk through like Central Park.
What does Valentine's Day mean to you?
I think Valentine's means to me just spreading love, whether it's just your partner or your family members or friends, just showing everybody that around you that you love them.
It's just another day, but it's a day to kind of share more, maybe go all out. If you don't normally do it, you'll take the time and be like, okay, we're gonna do it now.
Valentine's Day means like a day of showing gratitude towards your significant other, and you get to spend time with them, actually show them like, hey, I really do care about you, let's go out and let's do something fun that couples do.
Every day is Valentine's when you are living right and you with somebody that you enjoy being with.
Well, that was interesting, right? All right. So this is the day of love we are celebrating, my people, Valentine's Day. That's right. It's celebrating love, and most people are actually searching for that. Exactly, right? So, however, here's the thing. To attract love, one must be love, right? So today we're joined by a relationship love coach who will provide some insight on relationships, tips on datings, and ideas for Valentine's Day. Please welcome Jimmy Allen. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
What a line of business to be at.
Yes.
It's lovely.
Yes, it is lovely. But I'm bum.
Now, let's just open up with what inspired you to become a love expert. Is it a love expert coach or a love coach?
Well, my official title is I am a calling in the one coach, basically love and relationship coach. The woman who, her name is Catherine Woodward Thomas, and she created this book and became a New York #1 bestseller. And so she blew up, and then she created this coaching business, and I found it, but basically it found me. And when I was ready to find love, my friend was like, oh, you should read this book, Calling in the One. And it made such a profound difference in my love life, like my whole life just shifted. And in the book, it talks about, do the work in the book with a group. And I noticed that I was different in the group. Like I would hear things that they were not telling the truth, and I would pull the truth out of them. And, one of my friends, she was stuck in a relationship for 8 years that she hadn't gotten over. And all I said to her was, what did you need him to say to you to let you go? And for some reason, she broke down crying, and she said, I wanted him to marry me, and he didn't choose me.
I see.
And so
that was really, you went right directly into marriage. But our segment is really on the do's and don'ts of meeting somebody and familiarizing yourself with someone. So, but thank you for sharing that, because it's this really, a lot of communication gaps lie in what's not being said, right? So let's talk about what you should say and shouldn't say in the do's and don'ts of, I guess, meeting or dating.
And dating, so I did, I pulled out my resources and talked to some friends and clients. And so one of the number one things that you should not do is be late. Across the board, gay, straight, women, bi, whatever. Always be on time, always be in communication. Like, nothing will kill a date and your romantic availability for another person is being late. Always be in communication. Like, always, like, be courteous of the other person's time, because they're, prepping themselves for you to make time for you. You want how you start your relationship is how you end up your relationship.
Right.
So you want to start off on a really great note, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes too, another don't label your person. A lot of people like to swipe left, and they claim like there's no good men or good women out there. But when they look at a picture on their Tinder or on their OkCupid profile, they automatically label a person because of their ethnicity or their hair. I was just listening to a podcast the other day with Eckhart Tolle and Oprah, was saying how labeling someone really puts a block between you and the other person, so you automatically block yourself from being with the other person. And even on the date, if they say something that you don't like, don't label them. Just let it go. Be in the moment with that person. And another tip
That's
is...
very interesting, though.
Yeah,
that's a little
is.
challenging. It's easier said than done, only because there's a lot of internal dialogue going on.
Right, but you want to recognize that it's happening and give it up. Because when you start to label them, then your interactions and your behavior, the way you're talking, colors what you're saying to the other person. So therefore, you can't not fully be present with the other person. Another thing that came up was over excessively talking about yourself.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Because, but part of it is because one wants the other person to become familiar with them.
Right. But you want the person to be curious about you.
Right. You want that mystery
yes.
there. Right? You want to keep that mystery there.
But, that comes with a person who's over-talking, that they're not really prepared to be curious about the other person.
So what's the line between remaining somewhat, or I guess allowing that person to remain curious and being mysterious to a point where now you're withholding? What's the fine line?
I think, there is a fine line, right? So I think you want to be a little mysterious. And for me, these are clues, right? So when you're talking and engaging on a date, and you're talking about you drop Italy, for instance, you love to travel, and that person doesn't pick up on the fact that you love to travel, you go to Italy, that's a perfect opportunity to say, oh, well, what's that about? Why is that so important to you? I see that you go there every year. Do you have family there? Why does Italy speak to you? You want to get in-depth conversation. You want to find out what's important to them. A lot of people don't allow themselves to find out what's important to the other person. You want to be curious, engaged. And also it helps to come on a date prepared with 2 or 3 questions already in your back pocket, so you won't be staring at each other on a date.
And also not only that, and that one isn't dominating the other.
Right.
One isn't dominating the conversation, because that's another factor. And those are tips for couples. Now, what if you're a single person on Valentine's Day?
You can still have a loving experience on Valentine's Day. One of the things, I'll give you 3 ideas. So as a single person, you can take yourself on a date, a self-date, go up, get dressed up, find a restaurant in a local, you've been wanting to go to, right? And so you make a reservations for yourself. You can have a glass of wine with yourself and just be with yourself, and be grateful that you're not in a deadbeat relationship, that you have grown.
Right.
Exactly, right. There's
I
a
like
lot of
that. I like that outlook.
Right.
Well, because one would
Right.
really consider like, oh, I'm out. I'm taking myself out on a date. I'm by myself. I don't have a significant other. But by the same token, you could just stay in the space
Right.
of gratitude,
Right.
and knowing that you're not carrying some dead weight
It is
that
a- it
isn't
is-
serving
right.
you.
It's a moment to be grateful that you are where you are and be and appreciative of where you are in that moment, and you see other couples. There's no time to be jealous of them. Like, be grateful that, oh, there is love. I can spot love. I can see love. That love inspires me. Like, you want that. And two, another idea is too, you can like call up your best friend. I used to do this with one of my best friends. I call her up. I say, hey, let's have Valentine's Day dinner together. So we would like plan our meal.
Right.
Like, you do the mains, I do, the sides, and we come over and make it a little special. Like, buy little candles, buy little placemats. And one thing that we did is that we created our own Valentine's Day card for each other, and we created it, and we wrote what we loved and what we appreciated for the other person. It was just such a really beautiful moment.
It sounds lovely because it's the day of love. It's
Yeah.
not just a day of couples, right?
Right.
And then the third thing is they can come to your event.
The
Yes!
singles mixer, which is on February 14th from 6:30 to 10. Collaborated with Celebrate 8, which is an organization that celebrates love about you, and it's at the Taylor Pub on 505 8th Avenue. And you can go on my Instagram and you can see the reservations in my bio if you want to come check it out. And it's all free.
And it's all free, which is lovely. And of course, it's a singles night. So basically, there's going to be a lot of other single people that they can even possibly meet.
Right. So we're going to have games,
And
fun.
then you're going to be speaking, right?
Yes, so we're going to have games, fun, and then we're going to have collaborating with another woman. Her name is Caridad de la Luz.
Oh, Caridad de la Luz.
Yes,
Yes, we
so
know
she's
her.
going
We
to
love
be
her.
doing some comedy. We're going to be co-hosting together. We're going to have some games, some fun. And we're going to have some intentional meet and greets. And I'm going to auction off some prizes to win a free coaching service with me and some discounted other coaching service with me. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of great fun.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
thank you. And thank you for sharing with
Thank
our
you.
viewers
Yeah, you're welcome.
some wonderful tips on
Yeah.
how to just live in the space of gratitude and love yourself along with your significant other for Valentine's this year. You guys, if you don't have a significant other, once again, Singles Night Out will take place on Valentine's Day, February 14th at the Taylor Public House located at 505 8th Avenue in Manhattan. And that's happening from 6 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And if you're interested in more details, you can check out Jimmy Allen on Instagram at Jimmy Allen. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
We begin on the NFL gridiron where the season wraps Sunday in one of the most boring Super Bowls in history. Unless, of course, you are a New England fan. In a Super Sunday only New England could love, the Patriots won their 6th title by lumbering their way to a 13-3 victory over the Los Angeles Rams. That young, brash, high-flying team with the 33-year-old coach and the 24-year-old quarterback who were, we thought, changing football. But Sean McVay and Jared Goff got lost in the lights of the big one despite the Rams defense keeping pace. Nonetheless, it was an historic one. Among the Super Bowl records set, fewest points by both teams, 16, fewest points by the winning team, 13, fewest combined points through 3 quarters, 6, most consecutive drives ending with a punt, 8 by the Rams, and of course the longest punt, 65 yards. In the end, graying but still gritty, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Pats came to the Super Bowl and did what they do best, and that's win. That's number 6 for Tom and Bill together, 6 of 9. The defense designed by Belichick turned the Rams quarterback into a jittery mess. He completed 19 of 38 passes for 229 yards with an assortment of misread coverages, and in the tiny windows in which LA showed any sign of life, a pair of terrible passes, one trailing 3-0 in the third quarter, was late and high to wide-open Brandon Cooks in the end zone. The other, trailing 10-3 with 4:17 left in the fourth quarter, was high under pressure for an easy interception that essentially ended the game. McVay is half the age of Belichick, and Goff is half the quarterback Brady is in these type of games. More on the Super Bowl in the C-list. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The Knicks are in Detroit tonight. That game gets underway at 7. The Knicks fell 105-92 to the Pistons in the front end of the home-and-home series Tuesday night at the Garden. That was the debut of Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and Wesley Matthews, who were acquired from Dallas in the Kristaps Porzingis blockbuster last Thursday. All the roster changes aren't helping the Knicks get any wins, folks. That was their 14th straight loss. The Brooklyn Nets will host the Chicago Bulls, who recently dealt for Carmelo Anthony, only to waive the former Knick. Melo is a free agent and likely could sign soon with the NBA trade deadline looming. To say the LA Lakers struggled on Tuesday night would be an understatement. The Lakers fell to the Indiana Pacers 136-94. The 42-point blunder also marked the worst loss by any LeBron James-led team in his 16-year NBA career, when he's played, of course. He has previously lost by 36 points twice. Show me Anthony Davis, LA. The Philadelphia 76ers pulled off their second blockbuster trade of the 18-19 season late Tuesday night, agreeing to send multiple players and draft picks to the LA Clippers in exchange for star forward Tobias Harris, a local product, according to a report from ESPN's Woj. Nice move there by the Sixers. Bill Belichick has long had an affinity for Greg Schiano. Now he's adding him to his staff. Schiano, who failed miserably as Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, is back in the NFL and will be named the New England Patriots' new defensive coordinator, according to Jim McBride of the Boston Globe. He will replace Brian Flores, who left to be the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins. On the ice, the Islanders and Devils are fresh off their meeting last night. The Isles will host Colorado Saturday. The Devils will be home in Newark Saturday to host Minnesota. Meanwhile, the Rangers are home Sunday to host Toronto. Puck drops at 7 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Hard to believe, but the MLS season is set to return. Action gears up this weekend for both NYCFC and the Red Bulls. Spring training baseball is also on tap before the calendar flips. The first spring games for the Yankees and Mets are on February 23rd. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for my 2 cents on Super Bowl 53. We'll have some sights and sounds from our Super Bowl coverage on Monday's show, but for now, I'm happy knowing that my Super Bowl pick came to fruition. I had given you the 2017 final score and the dramatic ending of Brady walking away, but we all knew Tom wouldn't do that, win, lose, or draw. I had a lower score than most, but who could have fathomed such a low score? I think the end result solidified the fact that Tom and Bill are the greatest pair of all time and truly the greatest ever at their respective positions. New England's road to a 6th Lombardi trophy, tied with Pittsburgh for the most, was never easy this season. The Patriots lost 5 times, didn't have home field advantage through the playoffs, and after every loss, we're beset by questions over whether the 41-year-old Brady and his 66-year-old coach might be winding down. Through it all, though, they could score. The Pats averaged 27.2 points a game, and in the postseason run, the offense scored 10 touchdowns, and Brady never got sacked. They were not clicking like that Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where 70,081 fans, most of them cheering for New England, watched Brady go for number 6. Other than Julian Edelman, whose 10 catches for 141 yards won him MVP honors and made him look like Jerry Rice, considering everything happening around him, the Patriots were out of sync. Brady's first pass got intercepted. He went 21 for 35 for 262 yards and a passer rating of 71.4, more than 26 points lower than he averaged this season. New England outgained L.A. 195-57 in the first half, but settled for 2 field goal attempts, 1 miss and 1 make, for a 3-0 lead at the break. 3-0. The Patriots proved that experience matters in life, especially with the big one on the line. Their experience was enough to grind past the Rams. It's hard to say whether or not that will be the last for Tom and Bill together. It may not have been their finest Super Bowl moment, but the truth is the league is still trying to play catch-up to the 2 best to ever do it. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. Our next guest is a musical artist from New York City and a 3-time winner at the world-famous Apollo Theater. Yeah. She's received vocal training from well-known schools such as Harlem School of the Arts and the Professional Performing Arts High School. She's had the opportunity to perform for artists such as Chaka Khan, Mary J. Blige, and CeCe Winans. Right? It's Winans? Winans.
Yeah.
And, well, she's here to share more about her career, along with her upcoming project launching this month. Please welcome musical artist Samira Gibson.
Hello, hello, hello,
hello. And welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Love the outfit, right?
Thank you
Your
so much.
outfit kind of sums up the entire show, right? With relating to Black History Month.
Yes.
And Oshun, the deity that the young lady was honoring in her artwork. Right, because she also has this symbolism of peacock feathers.
Yes,
and,
yes,
and your
I
dress
love that.
kind of looks like they kind of resemble peacock feathers.
I feel like it could fit into like a Valentine's Day vibe with the pink.
Definitely.
Possibly.
Definitely. You're looking lovely,
Thank
beautiful.
you so much. So are
And
you.
Thank you. And thank you for being here with us. And really, I can't wait for everybody to hear what you are bringing to our Open Artist Spotlight. However, let's get to know you. So let's talk a little bit about your journey.
Okay, so my journey.
Well, we got to sum it up, though. We can't go to when you were a kid, Yeah, we got to go straight into the love part. How about that? Because this is the love theme show.
Okay, the love part. So
the love for your music, the love for your occupation, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things I do know about you is that you teach sign and you incorporate sign into your work.
Yes. So my love for sign, I started actually learning on YouTube. I have like this thing where the moment I met my first deaf friend, whose name is Oscar, so hello to my deaf community, but my friend Oscar, we actually met at a club, and I bumped into him. And so he said, and I saw that he kind of signed, and I said, oh my God, are you deaf? And he said, yes. He said, are you deaf? I said, no, but I want to learn more. And he said, oh, let's be friends. So we went into the club, and we danced literally all night. And a lot of people think that, the deaf community can't hear music, but they actually feel the vibrations. And then there's the hard of hearing who could partially hear the music. But so then I went on to just kind of incorporate it in my music, and I just want to bridge that gap because the hearing community, they really think that it's a handicap, but it's not. It's actually something that they're proud of, and they want to, expand and spread and just kind of, share it with everybody. So if everybody could see it that way, hopefully I could do that through my music.
It's fascinating that you just decided that you wanted to learn how to sign and be a part of this community.
Yeah.
Not having any ailments or having anyone in your family,
No,
right? Because
nobody
usually
in
it's
my
somebody
family.
who's related to somebody.
Yeah.
That's lovely. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now let's talk about how you incorporate it into your music and what kind of impact that has on that community. I mean, I know it's not the only thing you do, but it's just, I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah. I incorporated in my music. I'm still learning, but I do, sometimes I do motivational Mondays. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see I'll incorporate the sign there from time to time. And I'm getting more involved with the deaf community and hard of hearing community on social media. And yeah, so I'm just trying to incorporate it as much as I can. And mostly, I just have motivational messages. So
I noticed that you take certain songs that are familiar and then you put your own spin on it. You have your own rendition and you use it for motivational speaking. And so, with regards to your music, right?
Yes.
Is your music written by you, and who you're working with on a production level? How often are you in the studio? Do you perform live?
Yes, so I am in the studio very often, writing for myself and writing for other people. I have a song, my second single coming out. It's called Power of Love, and it is the follow-up to Power, which you guys will see a little bit today.
Yay!
So it's definitely coming soon. And so just look out for that. And production-wise, you guys will get a chance to dive a little bit more into that. Again, via social media and streaming platforms, it'll be on all of those.
Awesome. So where do you see yourself a year from now?
Ooh. I see myself touring, working with people that I've been wanting to work with for a while. I see myself in the future doing acting. I want to get into comedic acting, actually.
Yeah, I can see it.
I started out doing that, actually, as a kid. Yeah, I see myself doing it.
I see you. I feel you. I'm feeling you. You're just in this
you're
creative
Sagittarius.
Yeah.
So of course, we're gonna. I see you in me.
You're a Sag soul sister. I got you.
Sag sister.
All right. So where have been sister?
Sister.
Yeah, sister. And so.
Love it.
So if people wanted to see you perform live, are you performing anywhere? You got any gigs coming up?
Definitely stay tuned for that. Soon as we drop the next single, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing shows, so I would definitely encourage you guys to follow me on social media at Samira Gibson, SAMIRAAGIBSON, and I'm going to announce all of my upcoming shows.
Lovely.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to get a taste first. All right, you guys, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, Samira is going to perform one of her new singles you don't want to miss, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Open.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hello and welcome back to Open. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight. Here now to perform her new single, Power of Love. Please welcome Samira Gibson.
Yeah. 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 I open my eyes. I see the world in a sea. I see my people drowning, going fast on a string. I know I can't save everyone, 'cause everybody don't wanna be saved. My father is rich in houses and land. He holds the power of the world right in the palm of his hand. No, 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 no. Don't make the work in vain. You gotta live better, do better. You're the ones crying for change. You're no longer bound up in chains. You got more going than what you get credit for. I know we gon' make it 'cause it's inevitable. It's more than life than what you just settled for. You do more in life and never get a medal for it. If I knew back then what I know now, this life would be somehow better. There's no urgency, got to go now. Move agile and light like a feather. If you wait and see, who's gonna do it for me? You'll be waiting till tomorrow, won't be saved by the bell, and you know you'll never make it on time. Ooh la la la, you don't have to do things the way they used to be. Ooh la la la, use yourself as example so they all can see. You just don't know how it feels to lose control. You just don't know, don't know, don't know. Ooh la la la, you better keep up while you're walking with me. Ooh la la la, can't wait till we get to that place we can see. Ooh la la la, ooh la lu Africa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get that, yeah, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. Ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Thank you for blessing our open artist stage. Amazing. I hope you guys felt it because my hairs were standing on the sidelines. Yes, yes. All right, once again, for more information on Samira Gibson's upcoming album, check her out on Instagram at Samira Gibson. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the Recablecast tonight in 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor Happy Valentine's to you all. One love. One love.